All right, we are live now. Let's just give him like 1 to 2 minutes more for guys to join, and then we'll get right into it. Okay, I think we're getting joiners. All right. And please, if you are online, just type in your name, your current role. Are you a data analyst, data engineer, data scientist? And then your location, where you're joining us from. These guys as you join in. Okay, welcome, Emmanuel. Yeah, we just start by 6:05. Yeah. Mhm. Okay, I think yeah. In 1 minute we just start 6:05. Sorry, I just wanted to send one more reminder. Trying to, I think my network It's, okay. Just send it out. Okay. Okay, let me share my screen. Thank you everyone for joining. I'm just going to share my screen now while share slide. Share screen. Okay, please confirm you can see my screen. We have our guest in the house. He's a veteran, he's an astute data professional. He's a man of great value, and he's been in this space for quite a number of years, and we are so glad to really have him on board. On your screen, you can see his name. His name is Benga Adeyemo. He is a senior business data analyst and a Microsoft certified trainer with over 5 years of experience across healthcare, manufacturing, logistics, and retail stores. Of course, he is the proud owner and the founder of Techie Academy with track record of training over 3,000 plus students on Microsoft technologies. He's Microsoft certified, and of course, as I mentioned, he's also a community. He has also trained over 3,000 students. He's also a community lead. His technical skills ranges from a Microsoft Excel, Power BI, SQL, SSIS, SSAS, Microsoft Fabric, Powerhouse, Power Automate, and Databricks. So you can see that the person we have on board today is not just an ordinary man. His his certifications include Microsoft Certified Trainer, which is one certification that sets apart just ordinary trainer from the best of the best of trainers. He's also certified Power BI Data Analyst Associate. He's a certified Fabric Analytics Engineer Associate, and of course, a specialist in Excel. He's also the community lead for Winnipeg in Canada Fabric and Power BI user group and Winnipeg Power Platform user group. I think without much ado, we will see that Mr. Gwenga is such an enigma in the space of data. And let's just welcome him in the comment section. Thank you, Mr. Gwenga, for joining this session. And welcome to this episode of Data Chronicle 7.0. We are really glad to have you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much, Mr.
Yeah,
Michael.
just brief words from you. Yeah, go ahead,
It's an
please.
honor to be here. I appreciate you inviting me. And sorry about my voice, everyone. I have cough, I have catarrh, I have a vat, just name it, sore throat, everything. It's just by God's grace that I'm here today. And I appreciate you guys for joining us. Just a brief intro about me. Although Michael has done some basic introduction, but I will just tell a little about myself, my story, how I started data. So I started data pretty early, even though as at then the exposure was not like this then, and the number of tools that we have now is not like this. Michael, probably you need to like mute your mic or something. It's like going. Yeah, thank you. So, but I started very rough. I studied sociology in the university. Um, I had no computer science or information technology background, and I started this thing at a time when I was, I, I mean, I was in a stage in my life then. It was like I didn't know what next to do after graduation from school. So I was looking for what to do. There's a point I thought of doing software engineering. I thought of doing digital marketing. I thought of going into web design. A lot of ideas came into my mind as at that time, but I was just like going back and forth on what to do. So later on, uh, it was a very challenging point in my life, you know. And there was nobody to actually expose me to all of these things. So, I was just doing what I could do. And in my quest to change my life or to do something tangible in my life, that was when I saw a billboard. I was going for those that know Ibadan very well. Yeah, this place they call Aleshiloye Junction in Ibadan. If you are going towards Challenge, so I was with my dad. We are going there to a place, and I just saw that. I didn't know that this training school was in Ibadan. I know them to be in Lagos. So I just said, you know what, let's just branch there and let's see what they have. So on getting to the place, I told the training manager of that company that I would love to do digital marketing. So she was like, no, 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 don't do digital marketing. That a lot of people are in that space, and even web design, people are more. So I should go for data science. That the popularity is not well like others now. That I should just do it. That it has a lot of prospects, and I didn't even understand what it meant. So I went on Google. I started doing some research. Everything I saw there, I didn't understand it. I was seeing statistics, machine learning, this and that. I don't think my head can carry all of these things. So the fun part of the story was the woman encouraged me. Then my parents, because I had no money, so they paid. Even to tell you the real story, they could not even afford it once. They had to pay like 3 installments for me to be able to go through that training that time. So they paid and they got me a laptop. It was even a used at that time. It was even a used laptop. So I got a laptop and everything. I started, and we started doing Microsoft Excel. And I remember at that time in class, it's only me that my formula will not work. It was very embarrassing. It was now today. Talk about these things today. It looks funny, but it wasn't funny back then. I remember my dad told me that even if the rain is raining fire, that I must be in class. That no matter what, I must be in class. So it was a very serious thing. So I was the only one in class that the formula would not run, formula would not work. I remember a friend of mine then that would use me and laugh. His name is Tunde. Tunde will say, Obenga, I thought you for formula work yesterday. So what happened today? We make guest of me, we play and joke around it. So we started with Microsoft Excel. At least I remember that when I wanted to learn Excel, then we did Excel for like 4 months, only Excel. In fact, we did Excel to the point that our then tutor he taught us VBA, macro. It was very high level intensive, right? And later we moved to Power BI. We started doing but Power BI wasn't very clear to me then. I just knew the basics. I could visualize. I could use simple measures. You know. Later we moved to SQL. Started showing you things like your joins, how to do all these what do we call it? CTEs or queries, aggregate all of those things. Where was teaching us then. But one thing about me was that even though I was still learning then, I was making sure I was attending interviews. In fact, I went for interview to the point that I went for GNLD interview. It was even God that saved me then in Aja, that he did not use me for kidnapping. I remember I mean, we just thank God. I remember a particular experience that I went for an interview. I was putting on my suit and I had only one tie then. I go for my dad. So I was putting on my suit and everything, and I went from Ibadan to Aja. So I slept Lagos before the interview date. I went to Aja from I was with a friend in Bega for like since like 5 p.m. 5 a.m. in the morning, Lagos live now. So woke up in the morning, I got to the place like 10 a.m. in the morning, and I got to discover that it was GNLD at the end of the day. So immediately I discovered it was rubbish. I mean, when I got to the interview, they were asking me, "Can you sell this and that?" I was so disappointed. So after all the effort preparing, I had to just remove my tie. The inside hot sun in Lagos. I removed my tie and I was angry. I just looked for somewhere to eat good egusi. egusi and pounded yam around the area. And I went back to Ibadan on nothing, on nothing. Very disappointing situation. So yeah, that was how the whole thing started. So I was there, did we did Python, we did R shining, machine learning and everything. So I remember my story then. Years ago, I posted on I started with volunteering. I started with volunteering. I would gather people in my local church then in Ibadan. I would start teaching them Excel. That was how I started. And I remember the first event that we would organize. I remember we had about 70 people in attendance. I did not know where the courage came from. I used to be a very timid person. If I see crowd, my leg used to shake. I was that kind of person. I had no boldness. I could not talk in front of people. I used to easily feel intimidated. That was me growing up. So, but I don't know where the boldness came from that day. I was a little scared at the beginning, but when I got to the stage, that's how they used to say it in the Christian way. You say that unction to function just came from nowhere. So I just started talking and talking and talking, and that was how the impact started. And I remember as at that year, about 10 people came all the way from Lagos to Ibadan to attend that training. And I remember that I used to do a lot of volunteering. There's this big auntie, Auntie Miriam. She's the owner of Tekavili. I remember that I reached out to her on LinkedIn for volunteering. I remember that at the time we went to the University of Ibadan. There's what this hostel they call Idia Hall. And there was this place called You and I in front of that Idia Hall. We did a free event. People came. I taught Power BI. I posted on LinkedIn about it, and that was the beginning of the journey. And I remember at a particular time of my life, I posted that I was looking for a job. I crafted a resume, posted on LinkedIn. I was looking for a job, and that was how people that I did not know from anywhere started reposting about my post. Started reposting my post, and I remember people reaching out to me then. I remember this my oga now, Ebong. Ebong is now in the UK. I remember I went into Ebong's DM. I went into his DM. I told him I was looking for a job. He told me that I should not worry that if anything comes. That was in August. I remember in November, he still remembered me and reached out to me that there was a position somewhere in Nigerian beauty, blah blah blah. It was a contract role, and that was how I got my first job through LinkedIn. My second job again, I remember one of my oga too. That's why I'm mentioning their name. And people can know that in this space, networking is very important. One of my ogas too, then Adewale Yusuf, you know, it was when I said, where I am, I don't really like this place. So, the environment is toxic and all. He said I should not worry that if anything comes up, I should reach out. So I reached out, and that was how thank God I put my mouth and talked. That was how the second week somebody called him and said there was a position in Ibadan in startup, and that was how I got the link and I did the interview and I was able to get that job. And my top job, where we usually do all this training, then you pay 50,000 for 3 days. All those things. That was how somebody posted about a job in multinational. I did not even think they will even pick me. If I have even shared the job on different WhatsApp group, it was after 2 weeks that I applied. And I thought maybe they won't pick me. I applied for a fintech job then. I thought the fintech job, I thought the interview, I fired. But I got, I'm sorry to inform you. And the one I thought they would not pick me at all, that was the one they now called me and said, I remember that morning, I was on a bike going to work. I just got that call that, are you going Guardian? I said, yes. And they said, congratulations, blah, blah, blah. I said, what? In a multinational? And that was how this multinational company paid for me to relocate to Lagos, paid for my hotel in Ikoyi for more than a month. I mean, with free food, and also assign a driver to pick me up in the morning and drop me in the evening. Just because of data. I mean, that was how my journey has been so far. And before I left Nigeria for Canada, I also left the multinational company. I also worked in another healthcare startup in Ikoyi. But I was there, sorry, I was there for like 2 months before the whole traveling thing happened. So I had to resign from the job and came in. So that's just me, Michael. That's the story of my life.
Such a story. This looks so. I never knew you even know Yusuf. I never knew you
My
cross paths.
guy,
Well,
yeah.
he was the. I think he was the second person I brought to Data Chronicles. Yeah, second person. Yeah, was my second guest on Data Chronicles. So such a very vibrant data professional. Yeah, yeah. Oh, so your story looks so familiar. It's so similar to mine, but maybe that's a discussion for another day. But such an inspiring story there. Such an inspiring story there. People don't know. Sometimes people just say, "I just want to let me come into data. Data is sweet. Let me just jump into it." But the story behind the glory is something that people need to learn from. Thank you so much for that inspiring story. Yeah, today let me just quickly introduce the topic. The topic we're going to be discussing today is how to build technical excellence as data professionals. Now, I remember when we were having that discussion before this call. Remember, I was telling you a lot of stuff. Some people after 3 days, 1 month, 3 months training, I've not gotten any job. What is happening? Is it that what is happening in the job market? People come with a lot of questions, and that became a burden for me. Which is one of the reasons why we organize Data Chronicles anyway. That how do we, you know, come up with our experiences and then show those that are coming behind the techniques, the tactics, what they need to know, and if they are doing anything wrong, correct them. And in today's topic, we're going to be discussing what are the criterias, what makes a data professional very excellent technically. So I will start with my first question. By the way, for those just joining, Wenga is someone that I've been following over the years. Not just this is not just a guest I just brought by just thinking head of. I've studied him, and then if you follow his YouTube as well, his YouTube page, you can drop a YouTube page as well for people to follow. His YouTube page is so rich for data professionals, and even personally, I learned from it. So I said, no other person will be able to dissect this topic but him. So let me start with my first question. When we talk about technical excellence, how do you define technical excellence in your own time, from your own experience? When we say someone needs to be technically excellent as a data professional, what does that mean?
Okay, so excellence cut does not is not limited to only your technical skills and technical know-how, but excellence is based on the skills plus also impact. Being able to be impactful is what is excellence. You have good technical skills, and also you are also able to communicate your insights. You're also able to help organizations improve their processes, help them increase their productivity, right? And also, you're also this person that anywhere you go, you always make a mark. I mean, you are the guy up there. People know you like no. When it comes to being valuable, when it comes to value, and somebody is after bringing solutions, you are the guy. That's we call technical excellence. And people know that when
Hmm.
they come to you, no matter what, that complex thing, you will simplify it. You will find a way to solve that problem, and that's technical excellence.
Marvelous, incredible. Thank you so much for that easy and very very profound answer. Yeah, technical excellence, as you have said, is you being able to provide answers to people's problem, and then being excellent in what you do. Let people see that there is that sign of or touch of difference compared to the crowd.
Yeah.
That's excellence. Thank you so much. Now that takes me to my next question. Now, do you think technical excellence is the same as competence? So when you say someone
Mm.
is technically excellent and is competent, is there any similarity? What do you make of that?
So, technical excellence and competency, we can look at these two from different, in two different ways, rather. So, you can be highly competent in terms of your skill, but you might not be excellent, right? A lot of people are very good when it comes to Power BI. They know it very well. SQL, they can write optimized queries. They know how to use Python to clean data, to do a lot of stuff, which is actually good. But they don't have good communication skills. They don't
Mm,
have good people management skills. They don't even know how to manage stakeholders.
mm,
Because stakeholders do have different kind of expectations from you. So you have to know how to manage them. They don't know how to lead a project. They don't even know how to have good rapport with their own manager. They have
mm,
very bad relationship with their managers. I mean, so no matter, and they usually say that in every company, it's not competency that gives you promotion. What gives you promotion is those other soft skills by the side. People management, having good rapport with your managers, managing stakeholder engagement and expectations, having good communication skills. Driving, you are always driving impact, solution, how to improve something, problem solving skills. So they are not the same in the context that you can be highly competent in skill. It does not equate to the fact that you are that guy that is excellent in terms of every other thing that I've mentioned. So they are not the same, Michael.
So you mean you can be technically excellent and not really competent. So, and if I hear you
I
clearly,
will say you can be
go
technically
ahead.
competent, but yeah, but you are not technically excellent. You understand what I mean? So you are
Mm,
competent in
mm,
terms of your skills, but other soft skills you don't have. You lack it. That is a big problem.
So how do we then bridge this gap? How do we make people technically, they are technically good, they are very sound, Python, Excel, Power BI, they are
Mm,
very good with it.
mm.
How do we then make sure they are also very competent, especially in the
Thank you.
workspace where you need more than that, as you've mentioned, that
Thank
we
you.
also have soft skills and all that. Yeah.
You see, one thing I will try to tell people is that what I suffered in any days of my career, I did not understand what is called office politics. And whether you like it or not, in every organization, there are people that are really into office politics. And let me tell you the fact, office politics determine a lot of things, even your growth, even your visibility, the kind of exposure you have in an organization. Everything is determined by office politics. So when you get a new job or you get to a new organization, always know the doers, the movers and shakers of that place, and always know how to play your game well. Because no matter how competent you are in technical skill, if you are not if you are not somebody that has good communication skills, you don't have good stakeholder engagement, you don't know how to manage stakeholders and talk to them, you don't know how to communicate. Now I'll give you some examples. Some people, when they're working on projects, they will usually wait for the whole project to be done before they finally tell the stakeholders, this is where I am. But imagine you carrying them along at every stage of that project. You are telling them, oh, I've completed stage two, I'm moving to stage three. These are my roadblocks. These are the issues that I have. These are the things that are causing delay. I've talked to this person. I have made this move. I have done this. I've done that. If you are not communicating to them constantly, there's no how they will know exactly what you are doing or what you are up to, or if there's any issues or roadblocks that you have. right? So the way to bridge the gap is make sure you have good communication skills. It's very, very important. In fact, it's number one. Something that I suffered from not knowing about it a lot. I thought if I was good with my skills, there was going to be no problem. But it is even the beginning of problem when you don't have good communication skills, right? At every point in time, make sure that you sell yourself. Sell yourself means that if you are given the opportunity to talk in any meeting, make sure you package yourself well. Make sure you present yourself well. Make sure whatever you're talking about, you have gone in depth to understand the problem. You have taken your time to look at the data, to look at the issue, to talk to people that they call subject matter experts that understands the operational part of the business. They might not be as technical as you are, but they will tell you why this number is like this. They are that good. They've been in the business for a while. You have to be able to work with this kind of people so that when you are given a chance to talk, can say, "Oh, I've talked to this person. We have discussed. We have collaborated. We have looked at the issue, and this is the problem, and this is what we are doing about it, and this is the move we are trying to make." Always make sure that when you are given a chance to come and show yourself, to come and display your competence, your ability, you are like preparing for a Harvard interview. Always say it that way. It's like you're preparing for oil and gas interview. You're preparing for a job with United Nations. So always see every opportunity like you are preparing for something big. Always be that guy that they will say anytime you open your mouth to talk, that you are somebody that anything you say, they know that yes, it is authentic and genuine. So those are the ways you can bridge that gap. Make sure you have good relationship with your own manager. Your manager determines whether you get promotion. So those of you that usually fight your manager, that you see your manager like, I
On a
don't,
long team.
I don't like that guy. Sometimes the other guy that is not as good as you in technical skill, he will get promotion before you, and you will be there. So you make sure, although some managers too can be problematic, we know, but you always find a way to manage them, to make them feel like yes, they are the boss. Because one day too, you become a manager and you want loyalty. You want people under you. You want them to respect you and accord you. So every manager likes it when they see some level of loyalty from their staff, from their subordinate. They see the level of loyalty and that recognition that yes, you are my boss. So some people even overdo. They used to feel like they know more than their manager. You have to be very careful, right? And also make sure that
Fourteen
whatever you
loss
are,
of trust.
yes, whatever you are doing, you are this guy that documents your wins, so that on the day of appraisal, when they call you and say, "Tell me the impact that you have done in the last fiscal year," you can say, "I have done this, I have done this, I've done this, I've done this," right? There are sometimes that some issues will happen. They will call you to some meetings with some bigger stakeholders. You can be the CEO. Normally, you don't have any business with the CEO, but there's some issues that will happen that they will call your name and say, go and call that guy. Go and call that guy into a meeting now. Because they know that when they call you, you are a problem solver. And sometimes problem solving, you don't have to actually know that thing. But when you see the problem, you will find a way, whether to read documentation online, whether it's to ask your other community people, whether it's to watch videos, you always find a way to solve the problem. So these are the ways you can bridge that gap. They are not just the competent guy, but you are, and also one of the things that people also lack that I see is ability to gather requirements. People just build solutions, they don't document. It is very bad. So document the problem, document stakeholders expectation, and after you build the solution, document it so that by the time you leave the organization, somebody can pick up your documentation and can continue from where you stop. So you are not just somebody of competency alone, you have also built impact that way. And always make sure, another way to bridge the gap, always make sure that you create extra. For people, they like this after my 8 to 4, nothing concern me again. I can't spend extra hour for any company. I'm going home to go and enjoy myself. But sometimes you have to create some extra time because you are trying to be different, right? You are trying to be an person of impact. You try and look at your company and sometimes say, what can I do to help this company? What can I do to help them? And let me tell you something, it's not everything that is sometimes financial impact. Some impact can be that probably you are helping the company to help them reduce the hours it takes them to generate some kind of reports. So impact does not have to be you help them to increase profit. No, it doesn't have to be. You can tell the company instead of paying for this platform that costs you this amount every month, why not leverage from open source tools and you can help them reduce costs because they invest a lot of money. Some companies are not matured yet to be using data bricks. Why are they using it? Why can't they be using just Azure Fabric and leverage Synapse and not the other thing? Nowadays, they are not matured to that extent because somebody sometimes they go to them, oh, you like the fancy of big technologies, and they've not yet matured to that. You can tell them, let's stop using this thing. Let's leverage some other smaller technologies and we reduce costs. So impact can be in different ways, not just monetary all the time. It can also be helping them to reduce time, introducing automation. Those are impactful things that even when you leave the company, they will remember your name. That no. So at that, with that, you've gone beyond state technical competency. You are now the excellent guy in terms of what you do. I hope that's clear, Michael.
Amazing, amazing, very clear, very clear. But I have a follow up question on what you just said. You
Okay.
mentioned something around, doing sometimes just go above and beyond. Wait, you don't just do your 8 to 5. Sometimes you just, after the normal work hour, maybe you just need to attend to one or two things by the company.
Mm,
But I've seen some people, have that experience where it has happened a lot of times in places I've worked. This is someone that is so dedicated. This is someone that is so, rooted to his work. Work after 5, still does another 3 4 hours just to ensure tasks are done appropriately. But at the end
mhm,
of the day, when the promotion comes, they will still give it to someone that knows them or something. And you mentioned it as well that sometimes you need beyond the communications, beyond your technical skill, you need to build relationships.
mm,
So for this person now, after the whole promotion, they didn't still give him, but it was like, I after my 9 to 5, I still wait behind to ensure that I finish the task. And he sent it emails, they are seeing it. Why is it that at the end of the day they still don't give him that promotion? What do you have to say about that? Meanwhile, someone that is not that hardworking, that just created that relationship, the promotion will come. Maybe they meet after work on a dinner where they dine and wine. They just give that person. What do you think? What do you have to say about that? Do
so
we
this is what I
say
would say.
so? Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
Activity is not competence. Activity is not excellence. So sometimes in office space, some people are doing activities. You will see them everywhere. They are doing this, they are doing that. But you have to be strategic about the things that you do. Let me give you an instance of what I'm saying. Sometimes I've been in places whereby we build projects. We say we are doing projects. But do you know that stakeholders don't even value it? It's not of real, it's not of real impact to them because they prioritize some things more than some things. So that's number one problem. Number two is that when you are working on projects, please carry stakeholders along at every stage. Make them feel like you did this thing together. Let them be involved. Don't say it's until you finish the entire project that you will now be communicating to them. No. Before you even start the project, at every stage, Let there be communication, constant communication between you and them, carrying them along, even to the point of the visuals that you will use, how they want the color to look like, how they want the background to be. Give good let them be fully immersed in what you are doing. That's number two. Number three, I said earlier that office politics determine everything. You are the competent guy, but you will be in the corner at every time. You are the one doing things at the back end, though, but you don't know how to sell yourself. You are not giving yourself visibility. They are not saying you. Nobody's mentioning your name inside of meetings. Do you understand what I'm saying, Michael? So you need to go beyond. Some people just believe that when they are technically competent, they have all the skills in this world, they are good. But you need visibility also in your place of work. I will give you an instance. When I was working in a particular company, some people had a kind of perception about me, maybe based on what they've heard about me before. And what they've heard about me might not be correct. But they are usually uh God usually gives you this kind of chance that showcases you to everybody. Sometimes. So that particular day, we were in a like we let me call it like a general meeting of the whole team, and we're having like this, these they put you in groups, they give you a topic to talk about. Somebody will present it, something like more of like a retreat, something like that. And we were there, and we had to pick one member from a group to present the topic and discuss it in front of everybody. And people that were there, they were like, high stakeholders. I mean, so that day, everybody said, Mega, you really want to go. I was saying, no, 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 I don't want to. Said, no, go. So I went there in front of everybody, and God gave me the inspiration. I talked, gave illustrations, gave examples about that thing. And some people's perception about me that day changed. I'm telling you. In fact, somebody had to send me message the second day that kudos to you for your yesterday's presentation was not fantastic. It was fantastic. So if I have allowed my fear to say no, I don't want to go to front of where we have senior directors, to go there and go and start talking. What will I even say that they will hear? But one thing that they liked about my that day's presentation was that I put in some energy into it. I gave practical, real life example, illustration, something that they could relate with. I'm not just giving generic presentation. I gave real life impact about that topic for organizations. And God just gave me that day for people to know that no, this guy is not that thing you thought about him is not what it is. So you have to be visible. Give yourself. It's not visibility does not mean that just because you have to be visible, you now go and be saying anything just to so that they know that you are doing something. No, but be visible. Have good relationship. Know the shakers and the doers of the organization and have good rapport with them. That guy you talked about might be very good in what he does. Might be spending extra time. Is he visible? Does he relate with these people we talk about? Does he relate with them? Does he know how to, you know, interact with people, find his way around people, manage people, manage stakeholders very well? Does he know how to do those things? Does he know how to show loyalty? These are things that we need to check. If those things are not checked, you are just going to be the good guy. But when it comes to promotion, nobody remembers you. So promotion is more than being good at your skills, at your tools. It goes beyond that in office space. I hope I'm able to answer the question.
Perfectly, perfectly. So don't just, it's not just about your technical excellence. It also involves, and not just about spending, extra hours after work, but building the right relationship and then knowing the shakers, the
Exactly.
movers in every company. Yeah,
Yes.
I know that's not that easy, but yeah, it I think it's very critical, just like as you said. It's been playing out time and time again that if you don't know how to, get your way around the shakers, the movers, those that are very pivotal to an organization,
Yeah.
it might be a bit hard to move up the ladder. Thank you so
Yes.
much for doing justice to that question. And then that takes me to my next question. We've been talking about AI here and there. What do you think about the use of AI and its effect on technical excellence? Do you think um, excessive use can affect your technical excellence, ability, and all that? Because for me, I was talking to a colleague and it was like, use AI, use AI. I would say, everything, if you want to even write one small code, you do AI. Don't you think that is too much? So for me, I'm not. Let me just say, allow you answer. So, what do you think about the use of AI and its effect on technical excellence?
Sincerely, to me, my personal experience, AI is good, but it also depends on how we use it. So we are going to look at these things from different contexts. So before the advent of AI, people were writing DAX. When people knew DAX, they studied DAX. There was no AI then, and they were writing good DAX, and they understood the nitty gritty of DAX. Before the advent of AI, people were doing data engineering. People were using that. They were leveraging Adobe. They were leveraging Hive. People were leveraging Python. They were writing scripts. They were doing stuff, and systems were working. Even though there was no place to quickly browse whether, and people were good because they were leveraging documentation. People were hardworking. People were leveraging textbooks, documentations, reading online, mastering stuff. Now, AI has come to make these things easy. So AI has done something like, instead of going through all these stressful parts of knowing this thing, because if you ask our senior colleagues that have been in this space for a while, some of you hear their story, they went through a lot of hardship to know these things because then there was no AI, right? So we in this generation now, I would say we are very lucky because AI has now come to make learning to be very easy. Now, let me give you an instance. You can, when you subscribe to ChatGPT, for example, you can say, ChatGPT, I want to learn Python for 30 days. Give me topics I need to focus on. One topic per day. One topic per day. And here I will list it for you. It will ask you some questions, further questions to understand where you are coming from. And it will suggest you topics. It suggests you a plan. It can even tell you, it can even teach you the topics. Say install Jupyter Notebook, install this and that, write this script. This is what we give you. And you will be interacting, and you'll be learning, and you'll be learning, and you'll be learning. So I would say that AI has come to make learning easy. That's number one. Number two, for me, that I would say is that people talk about being over reliant on AI. But truth of the matter is that I will ever go to where I'm comfortable or what makes life easy for me, right? Now, the context is now two. When we say over reliance on AI, there are two things. Is it like every time you want to do something, you always go to AI? It's not bad. Or are we saying that whatever AI gives you, you don't double check, you don't try to understand, you just copy and paste? Now, I will not say that going to AI every time is bad. But what I will say is that if you are not double checking what AI is giving you, that becomes a problem. If you are the copy and paste guy and you are not the guy that actually wants to understand how system works, if AI gives me something, I will ask it question upon question upon question because I want to understand what it's giving me to do. I will prompt and prompt and prompt so that when I'm giving my students something and I tell them, write this script this way, I can tell them the technicality behind it. That if you have done it this other way, this is what will have happened though. but do it this way because of this and this and that. If you want this output, you can tweak it in this place. So me, I have if you have the mindset of how system works, for example, you are using AI to learn how to write DAX, and you have two columns. One column is for quantity, another column is for unit selling price. And AI is telling you to use some X, which is an iterator. Now, if an iterator is good, if your table is not still large, when table becomes very large, another problem is now performance. So iterator is good because it saves you the stress of creating calculated column before doing aggregation, right? But when you're somebody that thinks about performance, think about optimization, you will know that on the long run, that would have impact on your performance of your Power BI reports. When you use iterators on fact tables, large tables, and that now takes you to now say, okay, what can I do? Okay, what can you do? Is that you can already create that column in your SQL script before bringing it to inside of your Power BI. That's option one. Option two is that probably your idea of virtual tables and using variables, you can use that to break down complex calculations. That is what we call system thinking. You are no more thinking about solving a problem at a particular time. You are thinking beyond solving that problem ASAP now. You are thinking beyond that. You are thinking on design, system design now. You are thinking of impact, optimization of your report. You are thinking about costs, the cost implication of these things. How will it affect the underlying source? These are the ways to use AI to better your thinking, to better your impact, to better how you think about building solutions now. So if you are the copy and paste guy, then it becomes a problem. If you just copy and paste, if you copy, you paste, but afterwards you go back and say, yes, this thing was able to help me solve my problem. But let me now go back and make further investigation and try to understand. AI can just give me a DAX formula and I don't ask it questions. Why this? Why that? Why you have to subtract? What does this line even mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? So the way we use AI, we should use AI beyond ASAP problem solving. We should use AI and think about system design, system thinking, optimization, performance. Then the impact of AI will now fall into place and not just copy and paste, copy and paste. You are the sharp, sharp guy. You want sharp, sharp results. So that is
Mm.
the way I would answer that question.
Okay, okay, I hear you that, yeah, maybe you can rely on it, and but just ensure you test what it gives you, the feedback, and of course use your own foundational knowledge to also checkmate things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But that takes me, with that bias now. Do you think technicality of data professionals is declining as the years go by? Because if you look at
Mm.
it now, there's a research by BLS that, people are, it's like more or less like you see people just come online, show up their work, and then you give them the real work, and they underperform. So do you think, without bias, is the technicality of data professionals declining as the years go by? Compare your when you started, compare,
Mm.
people when a lot of the big guns in the game they started. Do you think there's a decline? Yeah, in technical
Yes.
excellence.
Um, I will say yes and I will say no. So I will say yes because people over reliance on AI and to some extent makes people lazy and people
Mm.
have not gone back to the core foundational things. And let me tell you what I'm saying. So if I want to teach somebody Power BI now, based on what I know now, In my first 3 weeks of the class, I will not even do anything Power BI at all. Michael, what I will teach is the core foundation of dimensional modeling. I
Hmm.
will start to take them through OLTP, how the structure looks like, how database integrates with applications. I will start to teach them things like normalization, denormalization, different things like normal forms, first normal form, second normal form, third normal form. I will take them through what is called ETL, even if it's theoretical. What does ETL mean? What does ELT means? How is this two architecture different from each other? I will take them through what the data warehouse mean and data warehouse structure, the star schema, the snowflake. I will take them through, the fundamentals of things like different kind of fact tables that we have, different kind of dimension tables that we have. I will take them through all of these foundational things, which are the core things that people are lacking. Most people just jump into using Power Query. Your first class like this, I always laugh, Michael, when I see this kind of classes. Their first class like this, bam, Power Query. How to clean data with Power Query. Nobody is talking about the core foundational things. Are you using Raf Kimba methodology? Are you the guy that believe in Lemon? We have to go back to the roots, the foundation of these things. Because when you read books like Dimensional Modeling, Raf Kimba, it will expose your mind a lot of things. You start hearing things like accumulating snapshot fact table, factless fact table, periodic snapshot, and you start wondering, oh, see concept like slow changing dimension, type 0, type 1, type this. Those things shapes your mentality about data. So the reason why the decline in technicality for data professionals in this age is because you cannot compare this age with those of our senior colleagues then. Those people went through the rigor, they went through the core foundational things. When they wanted to learn data, some people started with SSIS, SSAS, SSRS. Some people learned DAX in Excel, not in Power BI. Some people read textbooks, documentations before you see them and they are very good. They went through the core foundational important things first. So I think we need to go back to those kind of standard, right? And not selling tech as if tech is money ritual. Tech is not money. You have to pay your dues. Michael, let me tell you one fact. I was talking to somebody. The person is in SnapNet, and the person mentioned your name. I'm telling you, you are not there, but your head is there. And the person was saying, Michael, that he knows Michael. Oh. Michael is very, very sound. And those are the kind of things that you will know that when you started, it wasn't like this. You didn't start with Power Query. You went through the core foundational things. That's why everybody say Michael today. Oh, Michael is good. Because you went through core foundational things. Before cloud even came into being, you were a data architect. You know what that means? Be a data architect. That means you are designing systems, architecture of how data will flow. So that is a problem. But the kind of companies that we see today, different edutech companies, they will tell people learn Power BI in 3 weeks and learn Power BI in 3 weeks and 2 months and become certified. Does that even make sense? Power BI that is a career on its own. SQL that is a career on its own. Because there was a time last year we're trying to do some kind of career upgrading, and I some topics next. I'm like, this topic are in SQL, like very advanced. Jesus, very advanced topics. I begin to wonder that God, where the same SQL, yeah, we are just doing some query, Windows function and then CT. There are some very advanced things I've never heard before. And I'm like, this is
It's a
an
programming language on its own.
I'm telling you. And later I even discovered that there's even a role called SQL developer. Like that's
Of
the
course.
different role on its. I mean,
Of course. Of
people
course.
should people should think bigger. This 2026, all these I know simple aggregator in DAX. Think bigger. See, data is an unending journey. Is either you are inside or not. Don't see if you know that you cannot reach, you don't like wahala, just go and do digital marketing. It's not by force to be in this space. If you know that you cannot sit down, you guys, Michael, when I was practicing, when I was learning ADF, there are some times that pipeline will fail like 25 times. I'm not exaggerating. And I will do everything right. And I'll be wondering, why is my pipeline failing? I'll parameterize pipeline to copy data, and only 5 tables will move. The remaining five will not move. So what's the problem? Why all this wahala? I remember there was a day I was doing ADF. I sat down, I followed the video, and I sat down from 5 p.m. I did not stand up from this same table till 10 p.m. because I'm debugging one failed pipeline. How many people can do that? Some people, small challenge, they are off. This wahala is so much. Oh, I can't do this. People see the technical excellence, they don't know all the wahala, all the debugging that you have done behind the scene. You did that. I remember last year when I was trying to improve myself, and I went into DevOps and CI/CD. The day I was to thank God that day, hmm, I would have been very, very embarrassed. You know, when you get to a webinar and you are the organizer, you are the presenter. Sorry. And you get to the webinar and you start seeing errors that you've not seen before when you were practicing. Thank God I practiced that thing a day before the webinar. I would have been so embarrassed. Do you know a day before that webinar, Michael, I started seeing errors I've not seen before. I started debugging, and I did not sleep until almost to 3. Thank God I did that thing. I would have been embarrassed. So it's from those debugging that one starts to improve. You started figuring out issues. While preparing for the P700, let me give you a practical example. I was following a video of Will Liam. He was doing a video on database objects, how to deploy database objects outside of public environment. And he was using VS Code. And he just did the thing in 15 minutes. Oh. Hey, when I was to do that same thing, I spent more than 2 hours. You know why?
Out.
In his video, he did not tell me that I need to install SDK, .NET, SDK. He did nobody told me. I did the thing. I was saying errors. Say Jesus. But this guy did the same thing now. How am I having errors in my own? I installed .NET is it 10.0 version SDK. The thing did not work. I went to ChatGPT again. What happened? He said no, that I had to redirect it and install 8.0 SDK. I had to do that again. And I had to redirect. Look at the rigorous thing I went through before I could do that thing. Now, the guy did it in 10 minutes. He has already perfected all the errors that might come up because he's doing a YouTube content. But he did not tell you that if you find this error, this is how to debug it. But I was able to debug that thing on my own because I wanted to see it work. So these are the things that people lack these days. Any small challenge like this, they will just run away. They will start complaining. They are off. And that's not how to build excellence. So I will say yes to that your question because of this my reasons that I've stated. And I will say no because a lot of people, what I say that they need is just guidance. When they are properly mentored and guided, you will see the things that they will do and you will marvel. You would marvel. Some people don't have guidance. That's the only thing that is causing issues with them. When they see proper guidance, oh my God, in the next 2 3 years, you'll be like, wow, this same guy, and he's doing these things. No. So that's what I say to it.
Oh, wow, wow. What a wonderful answer there, right? And I can't agree less. First, let me start with your second answer. You said no because if they get the right guidance. And I think I agree with you because from what you're saying now is that the level of people just want to people are leveraging on the fact that people want to go into tech, and so they just come up with programs, avatar programs that are not really rich, that will really take them to where they want. So that have knowledge in some kind in quotes is causing that drop in quality of technicality as data professionals. And of course, I agree on the other hand that yes, there is drop in technicality because of people not taking time. And you shared some of your experiences. I have a lot of them. There was a time when I was in a company and I was working on there's a breakage in pipeline SSIS SSAS, and I even contacted what's it called Microsoft partner because we're top tier one Microsoft partner. I contacted them and he couldn't even solve it. This is a top level guy,
Chai.
no AI to help me. I had to sit down with Stack Overflow and just think it through, and I was able to solve that problem. Taking we were on call till 4 a.m. So I see that missing, like you said. Now I was giving a speech to MTNers 2 days ago about 4,000 over 4,000 communities of data professionals just 2 days ago, and I was telling them my first video on Excel was a 4 hours video, that I watched. And I watched that 4 hours video for 1 month. People were like, 1 month, how now? I said, because I was pausing, I watched the video like 3 or 4 times. I will pause,
Good.
I will
Good.
do what they did, pause
Good.
again, do what they did, pause
Yeah.
again. So I followed through, did that like 3, 4 times. So when we just, how did you do that thing in Excel? How did you do this thing in Power? How did you do this SQL? It's because of constant practice, getting to the roots, not just haphazard or. So I really totally agree with you. We'll come back to your
Mhm.
question. Why KD Lama? We'll come back to your question. So thank you so much for doing justice to that question. I would have added something, but because of time, I still have a lot of questions there. And since trust me, those that will be watching this video is so knowledge pack. Thank you so much for dissecting those questions. I just hope people that will watch this and people that are online are taking as much knowledge as they can. All right. So now I want to ask, do you think technical excellence, we've talked about that technical excellence is very good, and of course the other skill. Do you think it can give you an edge for promotion at workplace? Technical excellence, do you think it has a way of giving you an edge if you are very technically good? Is there an advantage?
Yes,
Yeah.
you have advantage. It can give you promotion, and it can also not give you promotion. And I will explain.
Oh yeah, tell me.
So when you are good at what you do, and you have good visibility, good relationship with people, with higher stakeholders, they see you, you are there. They know that you are good. It can give you promotion. They can look at you and say, "Wow, this guy is good. He's building solutions. He's making impacts. He's doing stuff. He's good." I mean, but sometimes if you don't study your environment well, it can also work against you. So I pray for everyone that we will not find ourselves in an environment where it is toxic and you have a lot of people that are jealous of you. And I will explain why. There's some environments that you find yourself that people are relaxed, people are laid back, they don't want to push too much. They believe, oh, if I've pushed in my 20s and my 30s, so I don't want to really do too much. I don't want to push too much. And you see those people, and when you find yourself amidst those kind of people, and you are the energetic guy, you are the guy learning Databricks, learning Azure, you are improving your PySpark, you are doing a lot. You start to have problem among them. There are some environments that they are not the environment that you show yourself too much. It's a way of protecting yourself. You are not foolish. Oh. Let me tell you the fact. Because as data professionals, we have to be smart. If you're working in an environment where people are not as technically savvy as you are, if you are bringing ideas and they see you as, oh, this guy is got sense, he's doing stuff, they are learning from you. That's a good environment. They are not seeing you as a threat. That is a good place to work. But there are some places that when you observe that when you bring solutions, you bring ideas, they talk down on you. They try not to make you shine. Then you have to be very careful. If you have 10 skills, show them two or three. You are protecting yourself. Until you now finally get a new job, you get a new place where you know that yes, no matter what you do, people people value you, they see what you do, they applaud you, they recognize that you are valuable very well. Then that kind of place is a good place to is a good place. Now, if you work in a very good organization that value problem solving and solution, they see the impact of what you do, that can give you promotion. Yes, very well. But if you work in a place that it's like you are the only person that has eyes among different blind people, is a problem. Is a problem. So I'm talking from personal experience. If you work in those kind of places, they will frustrate your efforts. So it's even better that you even people even know you outside as a very good person than even knowing you in the company that you're good, because in the company they don't even value you. So sometimes it's not everywhere that you show value that they will really appreciate you. Let me tell you that fact. So being valuable is more than being promoted at work. So can you still hear me? Okay. So being valuable
Yes.
is more than the fact that in my place of work I got promotion. No, it's more than that. If you are valuable, you are valuable. Promotion or no promotion. Okay, worst case scenario, what could happen? You are not getting promotion there, even though you are valuable. And the next thing that might happen is that you get a new place, you get a new job, start something, start your own training company, start a startup, start ideas, build communities. If your value is not recognized in a place, you do stuff that makes you happy. Do you understand what I'm saying? So building competence can get you promotion. At the same time, it depending on the environment, it can even work against you. They'll be like, oh, he likes showing himself too much. What's his problem? And they didn't know that you are God sent though, because the idea you are bringing on the table is what can change the company. But because of politics and hatred, or sometimes it's even unnecessary hatred,
Hmm.
unnecessary. I'm telling you, they just feel like they talk down on you, just make you feel like no, no, no. Your idea, your idea is good though, because they don't want anybody to accord it to you that you're the one that brought in that good idea. So they will talk it down. They will not allow you to shine. They will not make you visible. So while you are there, do things that make you happy. Build communities, make impact, create videos, have YouTube channel, create create projects. Let people know you. Let people call you. People that recognize your value outside of your place of work. Let them call you for webinars. Let them call you for demos. Be a guest speaker. Show your value in other ways outside of your workplace. That's what me I would say to that.
Wow, wow, wow. You know what you just said now played out. I was talking about this community at MTN. I've always been someone that I just believe no workplace can they can't pay me really. I'm
Mhm.
always of that
They
belief
can't
that you can't pay
quantify
me for
your
my
value.
value. Yeah,
Never.
you can yeah, yeah. What you are paying me is like, so I need to do more with my life. And
Exactly.
this particular master class I held for community of MTNers, data professionals at MTN. These are a community of over close to 6,000, so no, close to 5,000 members
Mhm.
globally, MTN Global, and it was the I just want to share is to buttress what you said now. It
Yeah.
was the community manager that just called me, said, I've been thinking of someone to bring in to come hold the master class on data and AI professionals, what it takes to succeed in 2026 and beyond. I was like, wow, because this is a community, and she made me an expert on that platform. And this is a platform where only the senior managers, general managers, the top guys in the company, globally at the group level, not even at Nigeria level, that are the experts, And she said, I think you should be an expert here. And she just said I should come in and take that topic. And I was there, just so elated that in a community of there are data engineers, the data scientists there, I still found myself worthy of being there to give a master class and a lecture. And she made mention when she was introducing me, she made mention of something. She said she's been following me on my YouTube and LinkedIn, and she's seeing the value of what what I was doing. That why bring in consultant and pay millions when we have people in house, that can do this. And I marveled, and that's to buttress what you're saying, that show your value, even if the people are watching. I didn't know she was
People
doing
are
that.
watching you. Yeah.
You know,
You will not know.
this I don't know how to quantify, but this is a platform that the consultant they bring in, these are experts, and they give them millions, to just come and speak. And
You are an
he said,
expert now.
and then you're an expert. Yeah, sometimes you're an expert, but when you get to some platform where you have people that have been in the business 20 years, 15 years, and they are doing the data, you are
Does
doing,
not matter.
and
Does
you
not matter.
coming in to give a master class. So you should
It's
know
not by
that.
number of years. It's not by number
So
of years.
so just to buttress what you are saying, that sometimes your technicality might not really give you that promotion, but there are other ways. Your company will always give you they can't really pay your worth if you know your worth. But there are other
Michael,
channels also, show your
Yes.
worth, and yeah.
Michael,
Go
let
ahead.
me say this for people that are hearing us now. Let me say this. When you want to learn skills or when you want to become more valuable, your value is not tied to your company. Your value, I just tell people this thing, that if I was to look at my current place of work, and with the little that I know, I'm okay. Not just to write query, build Power BI, put on dashboard. Why do I need to learn? Why am I trying to learn Databricks? Why am I trying to learn PySpark? Why am I trying to learn Azure and build pipeline? My value is not tied to what they are doing. I see beyond whatever they are doing now. If they like, they should not use cloud. Now them sabi. If they like, they should be using SIS and AS. When people have moved to cloud, that's their own problem. If they like, if I'm giving them suggestions, they should not hear me. If I'm telling them this is the way to do it better, they should not listen to me. That's their own problem. It does not concern me. Me, I'm learning, I'm building, I'm doing stuff beyond the scope of my environment. Some people limit themselves to only the technical tools of their place of work. Is very bad. If you are still using Excel in your place of work, you go and learn Power BI. If they are still using SSIS, you go and learn Azure. It doesn't concern you. So don't limit yourself to whatever your place of work is using, whatever thing that they are doing. See beyond that place. So that's it.
So much. Thank you so much. See beyond where you are. Your value is not tied to your current company. You can expand. Just keep building expertise, keep building your technical excellence, and the sky is just the starting point. Thank you so for those profound words. That takes me to the next one. I'm really enjoying this session. I'm really enjoying it. Personally, I'm learning, and I believe those that watch this video as well, even after this session, they have a lot on their hands to work on and to learn from. All right, we've seen a lot of people, dashboards where on LinkedIn, Twitter, which is working for them perfectly. But I sometimes I see some of them still say, "Hey, there is no job. I'm looking for gigs and all that." Why is there very low hiring level, even with more jobs? Because from
Hmm.
BLS, a research company, says as at 2021, we have about 298,000 jobs, available for data professionals now, limited to data
Mhm.
professionals.
Mhm.
Now, as at 2026, we have over 500,000. But that research also shows that there is a decline in hiring level, meaning
Yes.
people are not being hired as they should. What
Yes.
do you think because of this? Is this technical excellence issue? What do you think? What do you make
You
of this?
see,
Make up of
this
this?
question that you just asked me, I've been waiting for this question. because it's one of the questions that is very important in this webinar. And I will start to explain. You see, the issue that we have, number one, this space is evolving. That's number one point. This space is what? Is evolving. And it's evolving very fast. So if you are not somebody that at the back of your mind, you will know that learning is continuous. Learning is continuous. Learning is continuous. It's a problem. So you have to always know that you will be learning from time to time. That's number one. Number two, sir, there are more jobs, low hiring. I will tell you why, sir. Sir, I swear to God Almighty, there are jobs. Now we no get skill. See, sir, I don't want to hear that thing again. That there's no job. There's no job where I see job adverts. And even me, I know that I don't have this skill. People should stop see, oh God, sir. Some of my senior colleagues, I talk to them and I see them tell me that one of their mentee, he complained in Belgium, he complained in Germany, he complained in China. Sponsor them. These are young people, 25 years old, 26 years old.
Even in recent years.
Yes, sir. Unmarried young people that are not even married, young 25, 26 years old, and some beautiful looking ladies that companies are headhunting them on LinkedIn in that same Nigeria. Sir, in that same Nigeria, sir, some people they are seeing US remote, UK remote, Europe remote, and you are also there. You are complaining that there are jobs, there are jobs. So I don't want to hear that thing again. What is the there are jobs, you don't have skill. There's a point that you will be so skillful and you will be so you have packaging and online presence that even white people from all over the world will recognize you that this guy is good. Forget it. What I will say. People are good. And people that are very good like that, they will be seeing opportunity. Forget. People that sit down with their laptop, they look like they don't have life. But they know what they are looking, they know what they are chasing. See, sir, environment also matters. If you are among people that they are very relaxed, see, I don't know about some part of the world, but I've seen myself among some people that they are laid back. People like that, if you are among them, you cannot grow. You cannot grow. Because and this space is really evolving. And you need to be upskilling from time to time. Don't see upskilling as stressful, as mentally draining. Enjoy it because, Michael, anytime I learn something new, the way I used to work is different. My shoulder used to go up. The day I knew CICD, let me tell you the story. So there's this Egbon, is my Egbon in data. So I invited him for a webinar. I saw him do version control in Power BI. I said, wow. So two people can work on one Power BI file. Wow. I said, okay. I watched the video. I followed.
It was from your YouTube I learned it, actually.
Yes. I saw the way that Egbon was doing it. So I followed the video. I learned it. I used Visual Studio Code. I saved my Power BI file as PIBP. This thing. I did everything. Do you know that I now brought that Egbon? I said, Egbon, please come and do this webinar for us. The Egbon disappointed me. He stopped picking my calls for reason I don't know. Maybe it was personal reason. Maybe it was some people who went to influence him and say, no, don't go for it. I don't know what happened. But the Egbon did not come to my webinar. I now took it upon myself. In pain, I now learned it in the pain. And I now came, and I was now the one that later, I was the organizer, I was the presenter at the same time of the webinar. I now presented it. I now went back again and learned it more before I now fully understood it. Sir, there are jobs, there's a lot of skill gap. When we were in my training company, when we were interviewing people for trainer, I was so disappointed. A lot of people see are LinkedIn, Power BI Advanced, SQL, this one and that, and we
Englishes.
asking them, you say you're a Power BI person, you've not even used Power BI service for 3 years. You don't even know what is evaluation context in that. Say Jesus Christ. I will see their LinkedIn. I'm
Packaged.
serious. When we did free boot camp last year, I had a free boot camp I did in my community from we started in February, we ended it in September, and we're doing Power BI throughout, no SQL at all. I realized that a lot of people, I thought they knew things, they don't know it all. We are the ones that usually assume that people know. People don't know. There is still a lot of gap. Oh. Hey,
I tell you. I tell
get
you.
all this LinkedIn
If I
and
share, if I
LinkedIn
just
headline.
continue.
Ha! Jesus Christ. Sometimes I sit down with my ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, how do I become a global Power BI developer? And to give me topics and say, this is what can make you different. And I will start looking at YouTube, reading articles, doing everything, asking people in my community. Come on. Sometimes, sir, I pay for knowledge, sir. Guy, this thing, come and teach me this thing. How many weeks? 5 weekends, I will pay. How much do you want to collect? Okay, I don't have the full money now. Let me pay in 2 installments. I do that. You cannot, if you want to really grow in this space, you have to be learning from time to time. You have to be prompting. Sometimes I used to call my senior guys and I'll ask them, Ebo, I beg, which topic again in Power BI is advanced that I can learn? And they will tell me, Awiya, go and learn Dark Studio. Go and learn how to optimize Power BI reports. Go and learn Dark Studio. They say, hey, I never heard of this one before. And I'll go and write it down. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. And I'll be doing yes, sir. And I'll be writing it down. And I will go back after the call and I'll go and be learning that thing behind the scene. That's how to be growing. Some people they want they want that instant gratification. That's when you are learning. It's not instantly you'll be seeing
It doesn't
results,
happen
and
everywhere.
you start seeing national job. You start the calling. It's not like that. Sometimes it takes time. And when you are not in your own season, you will not shine. No matter what you do, wait for your time.
Mm. Mm.
I swear. When you are not in your own season, you'll be doing the same thing. That same thing that you'll be doing for years that nobody was seeing you. One day like this, to not be as if, where have you been all this while? Wow, look at this guy. That same thing that nobody even you be doing it, nobody even saw you. Nobody even appreciated you. And that same thing now, it's not the one taking you everywhere, but now calling you left and right. So when it's not in your season, no matter what you do, you will not shine. So, but the key is stay there, no matter what. People are seeing you or not, they applaud you or not. Stay there. Let's go back to your question now, sir. The reason why there are a lot of jobs and recruitment is low is lack of skill. Lack of skill, lack
Simple
of
and
visibility.
straightforward.
You see, one thing I learned about the white people, if you work with them, they have packaging. The same thing that you are doing, if they talk about it, they'll say, oh, oh, this one, you write this, wait, oh, it's not the same thing that I usually do all the time. They have packaging. That's what I'm telling my mentees this year. Don't be posting generic posts on LinkedIn again. Stop it. Let your LinkedIn post be strategic. The same topic, package it. present it well, use the illustration. Ah, no, you want not say SQL, but people say, wow, I like the way this guy explain concepts. See the way he breaks it down. You need visibility because you know a lot sometimes, but you don't have packaging. That's your problem. Have good pack. Hey, oh my god. If you don't have packaging, all your knowledge will die with you in your room, the corner of your room. Nobody will know you. Nobody will see your value. So there's still a lot of skill gap. And Michael, I'm saying this to me because I also run an edtech company. I'm saying this to you and to other edtech companies in Nigeria. Please go and revamp your curriculum. Go and please go and revamp. Yeah, because when people want to learn skill, we are the first point of contact because they believe that with our experience, we are able to come up with curriculums that would impact people, curriculums that will change the world, curriculums that will put people into international level. But we are not doing it very well. This is a wake up call. Nigeria is supposed to be a hub. Look at India. The highest people that get H1B visa to the US is India. People that get companies are now even moving their tech team to India. Come on now, guys. Let's wake up. The Indians too, they don't know more than you do. Indians have packaging. They have good community. You say instead of all this nonsense beefing, you are beefing people in the community. You don't want your mentee to grow more than you. You don't want you only want to be the one they will be referencing. It can't be like that forever. One day too, the young shall grow. Michael, before now, I used to do beggy people to help me write that formula. I could not write one that formula of my own. It was that bad. I used to do beggy. So people they would not even pick my call. Some pick my call. This me I do shakara. One day I sat myself down. See, I cannot continue like this. I cannot continue my life like I cannot rely on people to help me. Every time I beggy, help me write this thing. I don't understand it. Am I even trying to understand it too? Am I trying to know it? That was a sincere wake up call for me. And I said my life again. I will reduce people's help. Like I will have tried everything I can try before I call anybody to help me out. You really, you really see me on, you really see me on community WhatsApp group asking for help or something. I will find my way, and that's what has helped my growth.
Because the moment you find your way, it
Yes,
crystallizes in your brain. You will
yes,
forever have it
and
with you.
people also need to know that even edutech companies can just try their best, no matter how much you pay. They cannot teach you everything. I said we
Another
did
issue.
Power BI from February to September, and still we have not finished. And we need Power BI every Sunday. Even sometimes we even do Saturday and Sunday. Even still, Power BI, we've not even exhausted it. So if you don't do personal this thing too, you don't go do personal make personal efforts, you will not grow. And that's why you always see that lot of job, fewer hiring. And companies these days, they don't have time to be waiting for you to be fully skilled before they will hire you, before they will start giving you job. They want to bring you to the thing and you start doing stuff. You don't have enough time because they are also running. They are also it's a fast-paced environment. So you need to always be building skills constantly. Sometimes when you have built some skill, sit down and say, okay, oh yeah, what next? This year now, I'm thinking of what next. I've done Power BI certification, I've done Fabric, the two. I've passed data engineer, I've passed the 600. I'm thinking of, oh yeah, certification now. What next? What I mean, this year must not go like that. I must. Yesterday I was in the webinar. I tried to do it. I said, as you are collecting salary, if it's 10,000 naira every month, like a job, put it somewhere. That is your own learning and development budget. That's your learning and development money. Because if you want to buy Ashwebi now for party, you know how to do it. If you want to buy latest shoe and everything, especially our ladies now, they know how to find their way. Have a budget for these things too. L&D every year. And I want to learn something new this year. I want to learn this one. How much do I need to budget? It's not every time you are relying on free resources. Community cannot teach you everything. Community is not a tech company. Have a budget every year. Be learning like crazy. Let Nigeria be a tech hub that companies everywhere will be saying, hey, you look for talent to forget Nigerians are number one. They are there. And that will keep you the one closing that gap until we get there. So that's it, Michael.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is your last statement. Wanted to bring another question, but maybe. But let me just quickly touch on it. You know, I was discussing with a colleague last week, and it was just like we are not really producing anything. When Power BI comes, say okay, go and learn Power BI. Looker comes, go and learn Looker. What was it called? All these other tools. But do we have our own Power BI? When are we going to build that? When are we going to grow to that technical point where we can build our own Power BI, we can build our own Python, we can build our own R? And one of the things that came out was Maslow hierarchy of needs. Majorly in Africa, we are focused on what do you want to eat first, and that is also affecting edutech too. You know, edutech, because we just okay, let's get the money. People are coming, let's just get the money. Are we really giving them the best? Are we getting our own skill to that technical place where we can build things from ground up, our own Python and whole R, which that's another discussion really. And I understand, because over there they are not really that one is solved. I can go tomorrow and get a car, a brand new one, even as a barber, because the gap between you as a barber and that technical guy is not that much. So everybody can live that food and shelter is almost solved, and then you can have time for innovation. But I think that's another discussion for another, because of I still have a couple of questions to ask here. So let's go to this angle. It's been a lot of interesting conversations since. Do you think there is a timeline? You were discussing about your academy, and mentioned 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, so that they get the nitty-gritty, which I really agree. How long does it take to really build this sustainable technical skill? How long do you think it takes?
There's no timeline, sir. It's forever and ever, sir.
At
There's
least
no
to a level that you say, okay, yes, I'm job ready.
Okay. We are never job ready, sir. We start anyhow. So there's nothing like I'm job ready, sir. If I want to be factual with you, there's nothing like job ready. We start. Sir, when you want to start your first data analyst, data role, were you job ready? Michael, did you know everything then?
No, of course.
But you started, Abby, and you were doing it.
Yeah.
And on the job, you were learning. That's the answer to that. So there's no timeline. There's no. You have to just find your head inside. Just take your body wallet. Some people say, Mashati will just enter. When I was to start my first data job, I only knew Excel very well. Although I learned everything, but the one I knew very well was only Excel. And anyhow, I started. When I started my second job, my Power BI wasn't good. I was roughing it. I was doing it like that. And I started improving. So we are never ready. We just start. It's like the words of Shobo Idepo that he said, when you want to start a business, just start anyhow. Do you understand me, Michael? Just start anyhow. How? When you get there, just make sure that you don't relax. You are learning, you are improving, you are learning, you are improving, you are learning, you are improving, and that's how you keep growing. If you want to wait till the perfect time, before you know, the ones that you've learned before, you start forgetting. So, the only thing that we can just say is that enroll in training that give you good foundation. Good foundation matters. Every other thing will be a layer on top of it. So there is no perfect time. There is no timeline. But one thing I will say is this: if you are going to be a data analyst, make sure that number one priority skill is SQL. People usually avoid it. It's the foundation for every other thing. Your SQL must be very good because a lot of people take are making that mistake. You want to teach somebody to be a data analyst, you are teaching them Power BI and Excel first. No, that's a bad approach. Teach them SQL. Let their SQL be very good. Let them understand concepts around databases and data warehouses. When they know that, they move to visualization, move to any other thing. Whether you are going to be a data engineer, data scientist, or data analyst, or SQL, database concept, data warehouse concept should be your number one thing. Modeling, even in theory, should be your number one thing before any other thing. So when you have that foundation, then you are good to go. Look for work, start doing interview. First interview you will do, they will not pick you. Second one you will do, they will not pick you, you will fail. You will see a lot of this rejection. Stay there. Stay there until you finally get one yes one day and you will start. So there's no timeline, there's no perfect time.
Mm, I hear that. So, but like you said now, SQL is one fundamental skill every data professional must learn.
Everybody.
So
Yes.
there's no timeline. Keep learning, keep pushing till you become the best that you can. Thank
Yeah.
you so much. Thank you so much. We have about 17 minutes more. I will ask one more question, then we take questions from
Okay.
the audience. Then we call it a day. My last question is very critical. Everybody needs money. Everybody
Mhm.
wants money. No matter, I do tell people that for me, it's not passion that brought me to data. I needed to survive. All right. So, but over time, passion, comes alive as well. Yeah. But now, a lot of people come and talk. This guy that I've seen online, he said, I earned $3,000, I earned $4,000, I earned this and that. This guy, I know him very well. Now, he's not that good now. He's not that. Why is he getting this? So that takes me to my next question. Do you think there is a correlation between technical abilities and paycheck? Do
Good
you think
question, sir.
maybe higher technical gives you higher paycheck, or vice versa?
Let me explain how this works. You see, the problem with some people, I won't say everybody, some people, is that they don't know how to package and communicate. I'll still say it again. Let me give you an example. I heard a story of a guy last year. He first got a US remote and he got a UK remote. How? Posting constantly on LinkedIn, redesigning people's design. Sorry, and he got the job. CEO of a company reached out to him and he got the UK job. Now, the person that told me the story said, in terms of technical competency, this guy is not that there. But this design, when we design dashboard, make it fine, this guy is there. You now see you that you know a lot, but you are saying, ah, you see me, I'm an introvert. I don't like to, I don't like posting on LinkedIn. I just like to do my thing low key. And you are broke. You are broke, oh. Imagine, oh, you are you you are broke and you are doing introverts. And
Broke
you
and
see,
shy.
broke and shy. And you see one guy, he's not as even good as you, but he's always posting, he's always designing new reports, put color background, he's posting, and they're reaching out to him. Ah, come and teach me how you did this. I will pay you for class. Can I enroll in your class? And there's one job project I want to do. Can we include you? It's for 3 months, it's for $2,000. Are you going to do it? And they're calling the guy everywhere. They are calling the guy for webinar and demo to come and showcase how he's building fine reports. But you are brokers, you don't have money, you are doing introvert, you are cocky, and it is this the same you that you are even proud. They will call you to come and do webinar for community. You say you don't have time, that you are busy. You say it's for the smaller people that you don't have, and you don't have money, and now you are angry with everybody. Everything is every small thing you are angry. You see, the problem is not anything, it is you that you are the problem. The problem with you is that you desire visibility, you like it. You desire people that are outspoken, that are audacious, but you desire it. Instead of you to now learn from them, you are beefing them, you're angry with them. You desire it too to be like that. You know, when people desire something and they cannot be that thing, they become angry with that thing. So that's the problem. Now, you know, another problem is that a lot of people they have packaging. I will tell you why. In Canada now, for example, some people go
They
and
have
enroll
what? They have what? I didn't
they
hear
have
that.
packaging. They have packaging. Some people they have package. Some people go and enroll in all this 7 month data science boot camp. That kind of person and you're applying for the same job. But the guy is smarter than you. And you know why? The guy will be in the interview, he'll be mentioning machine learning, this one, he'll be using buzzwords to go on there. He has good packaging. The things that he's saying, half of it, he cannot even do it. He cannot even do it. He has packaging. He knows how to use buzzwords. He knows how to say things that he has not even done before in his life. But you, instead of you to build that skill, you so much believe in your skills that so far you are skillful, but there's nothing else. There's more. Doesn't end there. You need the packaging also. That's why you see that a lot of people now complain that when they hire the people, they are not good, they are not this. But the interview was so superb, so fantastic. You that you are good, you don't have package, you don't have good visibility, you don't have good communication skills. You can't say yourself in interview. After dealing with people, when they ask you, tell me about yourself. Stop. Don't be bringing. Don't be too fast to bring technical skills into your first 5 sentences. Stop it. Start with non-technical. How you talk to stakeholders, how you gather requirements from them, how you go back to check what is obtainable from the data, the infrastructure, how you always go back to them and say, okay, this is what we have, this is what is obtainable, how you carry them along, how you communicate to them. Push that. Every manager likes that. Say, okay, let's say this one is seeing beyond technical. He knows how to manage people, talk to people, stakeholders,
Beyond
manage
SQL, Power BI.
beyond. But get an interview. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma. My name is Shegun. I am good with Power BI. I know SQL. Change your style now. Change your style. Talk about the soft skills first. How you do all of these things, people management, how you lead projects. Tell them in my last place of work, I led this project, and these are what we did. In your last statements, at the end of everything, you can now say, in conclusion, my technical stack is in Power BI, is in SQL, is in Azure Data Factory, is in this one. That should be your last sentence. Take them through your thought process. Take them through one project that you have done before. Take them through your soft skills. And you will now see how you'll be different from the other people. How they'll be more interested in you. Talk about how you have good rapport with your current manager and how you guys have worked together to achieve things. Say, this one like he works with his manager. Wow, okay. That's why sometimes they will pick those people over you, and they will get job before you because they have packaging, because they know the right things to say. It's beyond interview skills. It's very of technical skills. Oh. Knowing what to say, how to say it, when to drop it, using the right examples that perfect, that validates what they're asking you. Very, very important. And you see that if you start changing, say that you are doing things in a way it's not working, try another way now. So those are the things that will now help improve your getting interview, getting opportunities, and smashing the interview and getting your job and getting the offer. At least out of 20, if you can get 1 year, it's okay. So that's what I will say to that. You are mute, Michael.
Oh, sorry. Thank you so much for doing justice to the questions. It's been an amazing session with you. Sincerely, I personally have learned as well, and I believe everyone that has joined today has learned one or two things. And I believe those that will also watch this session when we share it for those that missed, we also learn a couple of things. Thank you so much. I think we'll just take the two questions I have in the comment. If you have any other question, please drop it in the comment. But let me start with the first person here that says WK Lama. He said, is mastering SQL more important than mastering Power BI?
Yes.
That's his question.
Yes. You master SQL very well before you master Power BI. SQL is the foundation.
As a data professional, be it data analyst, data scientist, data
Anything
engineer.
you call yourself in data, SQL is your number one. Don't jump into Power BI without knowing SQL. Yes.
All right. Let's take the other question from, let me see. Okay. Some people said you need mathematical knowledge to learn data as a beginner. How true is that?
That's not true. That's not true. It depends on what you are doing and kind of project that you're working on. If a project requires me to do linear regression today, and I don't really know because I don't have science background, I can learn that on the job. I can learn that on the job. So if you want to learn it as part of your, if you want to learn math and stats as part of your learning, like your learning journey, you put it in your to do. It's good. You can use statistical skills to help solve business problems. It's good, but to start is not compulsory. It's not compulsory. It's not.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's a good time to say goodbye. But before that, I would like to take your final words for this session. It's been an amazing journey. I think close to 2 hours now. So, what are your final words before we call it a day?
My final words to you is that sometimes, not every time, data. Relax. Prepare good amala with begiri and ewedu with some bokoto.
For the Yorubas,
and some
out of the Igbos and the Hausas,
they have their own soup now. Sometimes relax, go out, enjoy, have fun, balance this thing. I told my wife this. I said this year we have to be intentional about ourselves. Go to the cinema, watch movie, go out. Sometimes go and do small shopping. Use that one to relax. Go to your friend's place, go and play with them. Sometimes you need mental balance so that you will not be drained by all this data, skill, everything. You need to balance it. Dedicate 1 day out of a week or 2 weeks for relaxation, for your own relaxation. Watch movies, subscribe to Netflix, sit down with your family, watch movie together. These 2 days now, I took leave from work. No laptop. I say, God, life is sweet. Oh, Jesus, no laptop, no watching of Azure video, dark view, by God. It refreshes your brain, I swear. Because if you are not careful, these things become addiction. You can't go in a day without laptop and videos.
Laptop.
I'm telling, I'm
Mm.
telling you, because I oh
Mm.
my God, see, this my cough and catarrh now. It's not those in my village that caused it. I was the one because I will be reading till 2, 3, and I have to resume work by 8. It can't work like that. You need mental. Your health is important. You need if you die today now, Fabric and Power BI will continue.
Mhm.
So sometimes to take it easy on yourself. Have a plan and be following it step by step. Don't be comparing yourself with people that have been doing this thing for 8, 7 years. You cannot get there like that. It takes time. You want to learn 10 things in a year. It's not possible. Pick only two that is most important and learn. Next year we go again. That's the way it works. So
Problem no dey finish.
you know they finish.
Massive.
So please relax, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
uh
Thank you so
All
much.
the time you are buying textbook, you are buying material. Use the money to buy shawarma. Sometimes buy yogurt. It's good one. Drink. Enjoy your life.
Drink and
Shower
sleep well.
and sleep. Open the turn on your fan. Sleep yakata on the bed. You need it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much, Benga. Thank you so much for this amazing session. For the past 2 hours, we've been talking about building technical excellence as a data professional. Benga has mentioned a lot of things, which is first getting the rudiments clear, knowing the rudiments, not just haphazard. I've learned SQL, I've learned Power BI, I've learned this. Understand it very well. Go for proper trainings, and he has also made advices for edutech companies to also ensure they revamp their curriculum. And then another way to also build technical excellence is for you to ensure you balance your technical excellence with your soft skill. To grow in workplace, you need a balance of both. So, and then he has also told us SQL is one very vital data skill for every data professional. So building your technical excellence will require you doing that. And then, of course, he has also mentioned that time is of essence. You don't just become an edifice in a day. So you need time to build that technical excellence. You need time. You need commitment. You need that agility. You need strength. Ask questions. Go and meet those are beyond that have gone ahead of you. Ask them questions. What other thing do I need to learn? As he has mentioned, okay, go and learn this. That's how you build it. And then there's no timeline to being job ready. You just need to keep learning. You learn every day. And of course, he has also mentioned that finally ensure you rest so that you don't break down. There is a need for mental balance. Massive contributions today from Benga. Thank you so much for your time, and we are really glad, we are really happy to have you today. On to the next episode, we'll be hosting another guest. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation. I think that will be all from me.
Thank you so
See you on
much.
the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Yeah, bye.